Hello and welcome to the Evo India YouTube channel, and what I have with me is a really important, a really interesting motorcycle, a world first as well. Now this is the first motorcycle in the world that can run on CNG as well as petrol, and say hello to the Bajaj Freedom 125. In this short video I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about this motorcycle. Now at the face of it, you really won't be able to tell that this is a special motorcycle that runs on CNG because a lot of work has gone in to make this look as traditional as possible. So the way Bajaj has placed the CNG tank and the regular fuel tank, all of it is done in such a way that you feel that this is a traditional motorcycle in all senses of the term motorcycle. But at the same time, Bajaj has taken a really funky approach to the styling of this motorcycle. It reminds me of a supermoto, something that you can have a lot of fun with. All of that will be verified when you ride the motorcycle, but in terms of the styling, I think Bajaj has done a really good job of making it look traditional but sporty and modern as well. Now let's get into the meat of the matter. What powers this bike? So over here you have a very traditional single cylinder 125cc engine, but what's special about this is, like I said, it can accept CNG to run. So to that end, you have a 2-litre CNG tank placed under the seat over here, and as you can see, the seat is also a really long unit. The longest in the segment is what Bajaj is telling us, and visually it does certainly feel that way. You also have a 2-litre petrol tank that is placed over here, and what Bajaj has done, which is a really convenient feature, is if you access this panel over here, both your petrol filler and the CNG filler is done from the same place, so you don't need to get under the seat closer to the tank or any of that. In terms of power, you have 9.3 bhp and 9.7 newton meters of torque, so these are pretty comparable with a 110 to 125cc commuter bike. How this actually does perform in the real world, I am waiting to find out, and we will tell you in our first ride review. So that's been about the powertrain of this motorcycle. Now let's tell you about the chassis setup. Now what Bajaj has done here is also very interesting, because instead of using any other frame setup, they've used a trolley frame setup. So this will not only aid in handling, but what it also does is work as a superstructure to keep the CNG tank safe in the case of any accident. And to that end, Bajaj says that they have tested this extensively to make sure that the tank is as safe as possible and you're not dealing with any problems because of that in the case of an accident. They've even ran a truck over it, a lot of other things they have done. How that actually holds up in the real world is something only time will tell, but on the face of it, Bajaj is very confident that this bike will be robust and safe enough for everyday use and everything that you can throw at it. In terms of the rest of the chassis setup, you have a telescopic fork setup at the front, 17-inch wheels, disc brake on this disc brake variant. If you go for the drum brake variant, you get drum brake at both ends. Apart from that, another interesting aspect is this is the first time a 110 to 125cc bike has a linked type monoshock at the rear. This is also because of the placement and because of the packaging of the entire motorcycle. So this should make for a really good handling motorcycle for the kind of bike it is. Again, something that will be verified with our road test review that will drop soon. Now in terms of efficiency, as I did say, this is a hybrid motorcycle. It runs on petrol or CNG. One very good thing is you can switch the mode on the fly, so there's a button that you can switch between CNG and petrol. Now Bajaj claims that the 2 kilo tank, each kilo of CNG in the tank is good for around 104 kilometers, and in terms of the petrol tank, 1 liter should be good for 65 kilometers per liter. So if you extrapolate that, Bajaj is saying you can get around 330 kilometers per top up of the tank and the tank. So that should be interesting to find out in the real world as well. And now before I leave you, here's a quick exhaust check as well. Now this motorcycle, it will be available in 7 different colors across 3 different variants. The 3 variants span as such. You have a drum brake variant with a regular halogen headlamp. You have a drum brake variant with an LED headlamp, and what I have here is the disc brake variant with an LED headlamp. Now prices for the bike start at ₹95,000 for the base variant. The mid-spec variant with the LED headlamp will cost you around ₹105,000 ex-showroom, and this top-end variant will cost you ₹110,000 ex-showroom. So on the face of it, this does seem a little pricier than the standard 125cc's, but when you consider the value that you will be getting with the CNG tank and your running costs reducing drastically, that should help you justify the cost. But whether or not you should be considering this bike is something I will for sure answer in the first ride review. So that's been a quick walk around of this motorcycle. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and as always, thank you for watching.